yeah, this is a feature on most phones, not all. So iPhone definitely, Samsung, higher models, but if you have it, use it. It's so cool. Have you ever noticed when you're swiping through your photos on your phone that there's some movement in there? On your iPhone, that's called Live Photo. I want to show you where it comes from and what you can do with it. Then Samsung and Pixel have similar features. On Samsung, it's called a motion photo, and on the Pixel, it's Top Shot. iPhone is by far the most feature-rich, so that's where I'm going to spend most of the time today, and then I will show you just a little bit of Samsung and tell you about the Pixel. First, how to take a live photo with an iPhone. It's just in your camera. You tap on the little bullseye in the upper right-hand corner, you make sure that you're set to photo, and then you just snap a picture with the shutter button like normal. And I want to show you that. And one of the really interesting things is it captures motion before you snap the shutter button. So I'm going to ask Jim to use his hands and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to snap the shutter on 3 and then show you the results. So here is the Apple camera, and it's this button right up at the top. Notice I'm in standard photo mode, and that little bullseye, I tapped it once and it says live off. I tap it again and it says live. So the live feature is now on. And Jim's gonna go
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So I tap the shutter button on the count of 3, and let's see what I got. So I see a photo that looks like just a still shot of when he's holding up 3 fingers. But if I touch and hold on it,
2, 3, 4.
you see the whole count of 5. So then, what can you do with it? You can pick a frame. So this is all on the iPhone, and how you pick a frame is you go into edit mode. So on this photo, I tap the edit button. It's this little sliders button, and then you tap the live button. And then you can pick another frame. So I can go to where he just had up 1 if I wanted to have I'm number 1, and you tap make key photo. But let's look at some better examples. So here is a motion photo that I think is a little bit more interesting. It was somebody jumping into the water, scuba diving, and she's halfway into the water, but touch on it, you see I get her actually jumping. I would like to have her mid-air. Edit, live, and find the one where she's mid-air and make key photo. Now that is the photo that will show. When I tap done, that's the photo that shows. But there's lots more. Right up here where it says live, I can make this picture loop, meaning she will just continuously be jumping into the water. That is a loop. I could also bounce, meaning she goes into the water and back out. Into the water and back out. Or I could long exposure. Now, this is not an appropriate picture for long exposure. I'm just going to go back to live. Now, here is one where I told Jim, my guinea pig for all things photo, I told him to blink a lot. So the photo that got captured has his eyes closed. If I edit and go into the live mode, I can find one where his eyes are open. There, his eyes are open there, make key photo, and done. And this one, she was serving us champagne, and I wanted her to be looking at us and smiling, and I know, there, that's what I want. Edit, live, and find that frame. There, much better, make key photo. And done. Now here is one that is appropriate for the long exposure. This is a waterfall. If I tap and hold, you see there is motion and there's sound, but sound isn't important for this purpose. Live and long exposure. And you'll see the water become a soft waterfall, I call it. And it's working some other magic too. It's making sure that there isn't any motion in the background. It's stabilizing the background as it does a long exposure for the water. Way cool. And the last thing you can do is you just tap on the three dots. If I'm back to just a normal live photo, one of the things you can do is save as video. So instead of the photo and the video, it just becomes a video. Makes it easier to share that way if you want the motion. To review, with an Apple Photos, you can pick a different frame for the still shot. That's called the key photo. You can save the video separately. You can make it loop or bounce, that's fun. And you can make it in a long exposure. What if you have a Samsung phone? It has a similar feature called motion photo. And once again, it's just like taking a normal photo, but if the motion setting is on, it gets you not quite as much as the iPhone, but it still has a couple seconds of video along with it. On a Samsung, mine happens to be an S21 Ultra. Not all models of Samsung will have this feature, but if I go into camera, I see this little play button icon. The second button from the right looks like a play button. If you tap it, it says motion photo off. Tap it again, it says motion photo on. So with motion photo on and you just take a picture, you get that couple seconds of motion. Let me show you some examples. And I'm just going to use Google Photos now to show you these. So here is a bird that is fishing. And if you've ever tried to take a picture and catch them when their head hits the water, it's impossible. How am I seeing that motion? It's this little play button right here. This is in Google Photos. You can play the motion, or you can tap pause and just see the still. And you get the proper frame by scrolling up, and then you see all the shots in the motion photo, and you can get whatever one you want. If I want him just aiming for the water, I can take that, and you tap save a copy. So instead of making a key frame, it saves a whole other photo. You still have your original motion photo and you have the still. Then actually, if that still is all that you really want, you might want to go back and delete the motion photo because they are big files with that 2 seconds of video. Here's the review. Using Google Photos on Android, you can view the motion from either iPhone Live Photos or Android Motion Photos. Just click the play icon. You can save the video separately by swiping up, tapping export, and then video, or you can pick a different frame, and I showed you that. I do want to show you export as animated GIF. So same thing with this bird. Let's swipe up and then look at all the options. And there is export, export, and GIF, and export. Now I'll go look at that. And there is the animated GIF. So I can post this anywhere and that motion will be there and will repeat. Then just a word about the Pixel. On the Pixel, the similar feature is called Top Shot. It captures less time than the Apple or the Samsung, and it's all before the shutter button. It does not capture sound, but it has that same ability to pick the best frame. And my favorite example really is if you've ever tried to capture lightning, you know how difficult it can be. But with motion photo, no problem. As soon as you see the lightning, you snap the shot and you get the couple seconds before you snapped it, and you can find the frame where there is the lightning. Pretty cool. I'm Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and this was Fun with Photos.
Tech for Seniors present the website of the week with Hewie Poplock.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Website of the week number 22 presents ℙ𝕝𝕉𝕗.com, a treasure trove of information that demystifies the manufacturing processes behind an extensive range of products, from items like you use daily, like refrigerators and vacuum cleaners, to more complex technologies like jet engines and nuclear submarines. This website offers a deep dive into how these products come to life. ℙ𝕝𝕉𝕗.com provides step-by-step explanations, complete with illustrations and diagrams detailing every stage of the assembly and manufacturing processes. Each entry includes not just the how-tos, but also the why-nots, background information, inventor insights, raw materials, applications, and future possibilities. Plus, you can expect details on byproducts, quality control, and more. Imagine exploring the making of blue jeans, holograms, or even artificial snow, all explained in an accessible, easy-to-understand manner. Whether you're curious, a general audience, or someone seeking detailed educational material, ℙ𝕝𝕉𝕗.com is your go-to resource for learning how products are made. Let's uncover the fascinating world of manufacturing together. How products are made. There are several ways to look for the different products. One is by volume. There are 7 different volumes, each containing different items. Or you can do it alphabetically, and it will show them across all of the volumes. Or you can do a search. So let's do a search for candy corn. And there's candy corn. We'll click on this and it takes us to the candy corn page. Now there's a great many ads because that's how they pay for this free service. I'm going to take a break right now in the recording and turn off all of the ads. The clutter of the ads is gone. So let's take a look. First, there's a background, a history of candy corn, the raw materials that go into it, the manufacturing process, and they do show a graphic of how it's done. Then they talk about several items and explain some things about candy corn, how it's made, and so on. And then some quality control and any byproducts or waste, and then how to learn more. So that's it for a particular product. We can also look at the inventor biographies, either by alphabetical, or we can do a search. Let's do a search for Franklin. Benjamin Franklin. We'll click on that, and we are now on the Benjamin Franklin biography. Shows his lifespan, some information about him, and a good article about him, and then you can actually leave some comments too. And that's how you can learn about some of the different inventors. There's also a film reference. Let's take a look at that. It gives us many things, but again, we can do a search. Let's do one on 2001 Space Odyssey because we were talking about that recently in a different meeting. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Do a search. And as we look here, there's all kinds of information about it from a website called ask.ai. And it gives you information about the movie, some background to it. And also, as we scroll down, it will give you some places where you can look at some related videos. This is a trailer, this is a movie list, and this is the semi-complete movie. And there's some more information for searches. Website of the week, number 22, How Products Are Made. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Good morning, this is Ron Brown with Silvercom Computer and Technology Club. Today I want to talk about more efficient use of your browser. The demonstration today will be done on a Chrome browser, but the basics could apply to any browser that you're using. So let's see how we can be more efficient with our use. So let's look at the Chrome browser on my desktop. Let's talk a bit about definitions. First, you'll see the search area here, which says search Google or type in ULR. This bar here, this empty space where you type things in, is actually called an omnibar. That's Google's search, and you can put all your information in. It's sort of an all-encompassing bar. Below the omnibar, you have a second line, and this is called a bookmark bar. And we're going to be talking a lot about the bookmark bar today. So I want to show you the second line under the omnibox. As you look here, you'll see this long line with lots of stuff on it. This is called the bookmark bar. And you'll see we'll be talking a lot about this today, but this is what we call a bookmark bar, and this is Chrome's bookmark bar. Now if you don't have this, let me show you how you can get it. You'll come over to the top right corner and you'll see these three little dots. We're going to come over here and we'll click this, and let's come down to Settings. Within Settings, we'll scroll down until we come to this area here which says Show Bookmarks Bar, and you'll see that I have this selected. Now your bookmark bar may look different, and you may have multiple bookmark bars. As I've gone around and done a lot of tech in the last few years, it's really obvious that other companies will put bookmark bars in your browser. And there's a reason for this, and this is because they have ads. You'll find this typically with Yahoo when it's trying to install mail service. They will put their own Yahoo bar in there. You'll also see this with software such as gambling software, weather software. When you install a weather app into your browser, you will unwittingly be putting their bar in there. Now you may think this is good, and if it works for you, that's fine, but most of the reason why other companies want to put bars below the omnibox is because of ads. This is a way in which you get pop-up ads, they can track you better, and there's all related to advertising. And that's why I don't want them. I get them out, and you'll see them here in this section of your settings. You'll see the other bookmark bars that are there, and if you want to get rid of them, you just you'll see there's a little X, and you can click the X, and you'll get rid of the bars. The only bar that I want is Chrome's bookmark bar, and that is and you can turn that on or off by just toggling this switch here. So when we go back now to look again, you'll see this is my bookmark bar by Chrome. Now for safe computing, it's very important that you bookmark your logins. I see the same mistake being made over and over and over again, where people go and they can't remember how to log in, let's say to Facebook. So they type in the Omnibox Facebook login. Or they go to their bank and they can't remember where the login to the bank is, and they type in login Bank of America. This is an extremely dangerous way to to be logging into your secure accounts, because if you type in the wrong word or the wrong address, boom, you'll be at a malicious site, and there are plenty for secure sites, and you'll be entering into a fake site and putting your username and password in. So for your secure sites, your banking sites, your Google site, your Microsoft site, the sites that you go to all the time, you should have these bookmarked so that you will always go to the correct location. The other way you can do it is you could also, if you have LastPass or a password manager, you can open LastPass and click on the link. It will have, of course, the site saved as well. But please don't put in the search bar login requests. Okay, so now we're at a site called allrecipes.com. This is a recipe site that I recommend and I use all the time. So we're going to go here and look at it, and the first thing we'll want to do, because we're going to sign in and it'll have a secure sign in, is we'll want to bookmark it. So let's come over and let's click on the little, as we look here, if we come over to the right, you'll see a little star here. You'll see it's not colored, which means we haven't bookmarked before. We are now going to bookmark it. So we're going to click here, and it's going to now ask us which folder or where we want to bookmark it. So let's look at our options here. So we're going to come down and we can look at here, and there is an option for the bookmark bar, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. So let me show you when we bookmark something how this might work. So we're going to take and we're going to come over and we're going to hit bookmark, and we're going to come to other bookmarks. And now we're going to come down and we're going to actually look at choose another folder, and we're going to come to other bookmarks. And you're going to see all these bookmarks that I have. Goes down forever. Now, one of the problems with bookmarks is that we've had browsers for 20 or 30 years, right? Or maybe longer. And every time you choose a new browser or you update your browser, it says, do you want to take all your bookmarks with you? And you usually say yes, so they all go in there. So all these bookmarks that I have here, I never look at. I haven't looked at this in 30 years. I have no idea what all these things are. And in fact, when I finish making this video, I'm going to delete them all, because I don't use this type of bookmark. I use the bookmark bar, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. So what has changed in the last 10 years is Google search. Google search is so good now that we're used to just being able to put something in the search bar and boom, it's there. And this by and large works really well until we're dealing with very secure sites, and if we make a mistake in the search, we're going to get into big trouble. But for all else, Google searching is so accurate. Let me give you an example. My brother, Alan, is an architect in New Westminster. Yes, I do have his phone number in my auto dial on all my portable phones. He is in my contact list. But about twice a year, he has an office, and his office is actually in a separate building on his property. I need to call him. Maybe I'm coming over for a golf game or something like that, and I can't remember his office phone number. And I'm just too lazy to put in my contacts. So if you look now, if I type in, and I'll just type Alan Brown Architect, and as you can see here, he's first on the list. And that's because Google remembers that. If you tried to type Alan Brown Architect, you wouldn't find him. But because in my Google history, they remember where I've searched, and they found him right away. So I just type that, click it, and I have his phone number to phone. So I'm sort of lazy about this now, and I don't really have to put his phone number in my contact list. And I think all of you are finding the same thing, but the mistake you're making is this is just looking up a phone number. If you're logging into the bank, you want to make sure you're going to a proper site, and that's where you need to bookmark it. So let's look at how I do it. All right, so here we are at allrecipes.com. This is a favorite site of mine as I like to cook a lot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bookmark this. You can see that if you look here in the Omni box that nothing is being bookmarked. So you could click bookmarks, but I'm just going to take this here and I'm going to drag it down and we're going to put it right here. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, I have a very, very, very busy bookmark bar. There's lots of stuff on here, and all of a sudden this takes up a lot of retail space. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on this and we're going to click Edit. Now, the first thing you can do is you can edit the name of this. So I'm going to call this All Recipes, just as an AR. Now we're going to save that, and now you'll see that instead of having a long name here, we can call it AR, allrecipes.com, and that fits in a lot better than all the others. So, for example, if I wanted to go to, let's pick Facebook. If I click over here to Facebook, I'm going to come to Facebook, which should come up. There we go. And if I come back now to AR, allrecipes.com, and there we are. So this is a very quick way, and these are all the sites that I use on a daily basis that make things very quickly. They're all right in this bar here, and as I come up, I just can click on them and instantly I'm there. So this is a very quick way rather than taking them over and trying to sort them and put them into some bookmark folder system. All right. All right, so now we have we've got our allrecipes.com bookmarked on our bookmark bar. But suppose now we will have we're going to be saving lots of recipes. Are we going to save it all on the bar? That's going to get pretty crowded. So let's look closely how we might do this. So let's go to allrecipes.com. I'm going to right click on the bar here and I'm going to add a folder, and we're going to call the folder recipes. And now we are going to bring the recipes up here, and we now have a recipe folder. Now we could even move allrecipes.com into the recipe folder, and now we have recipes in a folder. This folder can be moved, you can change it, and you can even copy it onto your desktop. It has all your links in it, and this can just sit in your bookmark bar. That's pretty cool, I think. So the final thing I want to show you is regarding Gmail. If you look here on our bookmark bar, you'll see I have a thing called TFSGM. This is called Tech for Senior Gmail. So I produce a lot of shows, and it is I get a ton of email. So I need to be very efficient in the way I look at it. And oftentimes when I'm doing work, I need to quickly look at the Tech for Senior folder that I have all my email in to retrieve information. And I could go over and I could look at Gmail and open it up and scroll down and get the folder, but this way I have it just bookmarked in my bookmark bar. Let me show you how to do this. So let's go to my Gmail. And now we're going to come down to Tech for Senior. And we'll come down here, way down here. into here, Tech for Senior. So I bring up the this is the site here, and this is where I have all my email for Tech for Seniors. So if you look up here, you'll see this is just a website. So if you look at this, I can just take this and drag this down onto the bookmark bar. And what this does is it brings up this menu here. So when I click on this, it puts me in the folder with all Tech for Senior emails. So you can link all your different folders along here as well on your different, actually they're called labels for your Gmail. Just another quick way of adding things to your bookmark bar. You can also bookmark spreadsheets or anything you want. This is my speaking engagement for APCUG, and this is a spreadsheet that I have. I just click on this, and this brings up this is a spreadsheet I have in Google Drive, and again, this is just linked into Google Drive. So works very well. So please use your bookmark bar. It makes things. This is what I use all day long to access different sites that I have, and it makes it very efficient use of the Chrome browser. Well, Chrome is what I use, but it works on any browser that you might have. Hopefully that's been helpful. Anyway, have a nice day and stay safe.